You're listening to the Millennial Perspective Podcast, a podcast where we get to share with you ideas and perspectives that we believe can inspire and challenge you to think and live differently. I am your host, Ormild, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, so in this episode, this is part 2 of the conversation I was having with Mukandi as we were reviewing the book, the eBook I just put out called How to Manage Your Time Better. I surely hope this episode will be insightful for you as the first one was as well. Enjoy.
So who is this book written for?
It's written for everyone, everyone who wants to maximize and utilize their time to be productive. From high school way to retirement, wherever you are at. I think it's a book designed just to help everyone learn the value of time and everyone learn the consequences of not handling your time, and then also just seeing how you can get and do your time and manage your time better. Yeah.
So do you think you achieved your goal for this book? What was your goal? Did you want to manage it? Or did you just want to get the book out and do it? Did you?
The goal was to help people understand the value of time and also help people know how to manage the time better. Yeah, because most of the times you have people telling you the value of something or why something is supposed to be done and not give you how it's supposed to be done. So even from the feedback, the feedback that I've got, it's only been out I think for 7 days. Oh snap, it's only been out for 7 days.
It's a week old.
Yeah, so I think in the 7 days that it's been out, 7 days is very short. Yeah, so for the 7 days it's been out, the feedback I've gotten has been good. So I think I'm saying it achieving what I wanted to achieve. But see, again, the unfortunate thing is people can get the book and download and read through and then give you feedback and say it's a good book. But the value in the book is actually implementing the principles in it. You know what I mean? I think you're a reader, you've probably gotten a book that talks about something you're like, oh my God, man, I just gotta change my life. You know what I mean?
The ones that I have those struggles with are the money ones.
You know what I mean?
Some, save everything.
Save you go out and you're like,
yes. And then I buy Hungry Lion.
When payday comes, you're like, no, we'll start next month.
Yes.
It's been next month for 5 years. I even stopped reading like money books. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? We'll save when we save.
And that's the problem with self-help.
Yeah. So I think the key with that's why I wanted to keep it short, because like most of the books I've read on productivity, on money, on whatnot, there's so many things you're trying to say. You know what I mean? There's so many things. Most of the times when I read a book, I only get out like maybe with like 1-2 points. I forget everything else, So I try to make it short so that people are able to easily remember. Or even if someone wants to refresh, it's not like 200 pages. You know what I mean? You're just going to check, okay, point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. So I think, yeah, pretty much.
Today I have Ormild Musonda and we're reviewing how to manage your time better. So we're doing really well. Even the show is going on time because I read this book and I learned 1 or 2 things. Yeah. So the book, as we have already highlighted, and if you're just joining us, is very short and very impactful. It tells you to the point. You can walk out of this book, you can read this book in one sitting and come out with things that you can mention on your hand to help you manage your time. So one of the points for managing your time better is prioritizing your goals. I think it was point 2. Yeah. So I have a question on that one. Yeah. What for you personally, or maybe as a principal, what priority order do you use for your goals?
Important tasks over urgent ones. Yeah, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Important ones over urgent ones, because you find most of the time, unless the important one then works its way into urgent, but you find like most of the things, like let me put it this way, it's important for me to be available for my family. That's like very important. But then you have a situation where you have to be at the office because there's like a breaking story or something. That's urgent. You know what I mean? So I have to find a way that I do what's important over what's urgent. Yeah. So it's even aspects of if there's need for a design to be done quick, fast. I would sometimes say, okay, look, it's already after my working hours. I would design it from home. So what I'm actually pushing for is I would be spending time at home. I might not necessarily be engaging at that point when I'm designing, but I'm at home, so my wife is seeing me, my son is seeing me as I'm designing that, and once I'm done, it's just like a few seconds and I switch instead of me driving from the office. So that for me is the order in which I do it. If I put the order of importance, there's God, who takes the first slot. You know what I mean? What's important. Then there's me, like myself, you know. And then there's my wife, there's my kid, and then there's work, and then business. So in that very order is my priority. So I try by all means not to work at 4:30 or at 5. I don't want to be working at 5 because now I'm violating my important over agent.
Yeah, you're taking God's time.
Yeah, so if it's family time and work is saying there's something that needs to be done, if somebody else can do it, or if there's a possibility of me training someone, like the instances where, because I'm in a new field, so there's things changing every other week, every other month. So from some of the leadership lessons that I've learned is it's about empowering others. So like one of my leadership skills or my leadership styles is very empowering. So like if I get someone, I'm like, yo, you must get as good as I am or even better. So that way it allows me to have people I can depend on in the case that something happens at the office and I'm needed, but I'm at my son's birthday, so I'm like, yo, can you cover for me?
Call is it's just as good.
Yeah, it's just as good. So for me, I believe in empowering everyone I work with. Everyone I'm leading must be as good as I am, if not better, because it serves not just me but everyone else. So and serves the institution as well. So that's my order. Is I'm trying to get work and business is unfortunately I've had like arguments with a lot of my friends saying you can't put work and business after family. You know, you must work in order for you to take care of your family. But I look at it from this angle. If I spend a lot of time doing my own business or working, and I'll have the money that I need to have, but if my relationship at home is a mess, I don't have people I love to spend the money with. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I look at it from, let me ensure my relationship at home with my wife and my kid is good, and then let me go make the money that I will then come and use for us to have a good time as a family, to have a good meal as a family.
And I find it interesting that you said that your strategy is to empower others so that you can get more out of your time. And some people, and that's the thing about time, a lot of stress and anxiety comes from the insecurity of not empowering others. You fear that perhaps if this person has the same skills, oh no, it's over for me.
Because for me, I believe leadership is about working your way out of the role. I think I'm not. It's difficult. It's different views, of course, come from different people. But I believe I shouldn't be in the same leadership capacity for more than 5 years.
Because then for you it gets frustrating. It means you haven't moved.
You know the system. That's just for me. I'm not saying it should be the standard for people are gonna shoot it down like I've been leading this thing for 20 years. But for me, it's what I've decided. And fortunately, God has been gracious that that's the way it works. I haven't been somewhere in a leadership capacity for more than 5 years. So I've led I've been privileged to be a leader in some institutions and in some places, and it's worked. The beauty that I love about it is every place that I've left has still continued even to better cap. It's even gotten better than I left. So I'm like, oh yeah, so the guys actually did learn, you know. So I think for me that's my principle of leadership is train the next guy to be as good as you are or better. So every time I move on and I see, oh snap, the guys are doing better designs than I was doing, I'm like,
they learned it.
They learned the skill.
So what was your favorite part I'll ask it in two ways. What was your favorite part of the book to write? And now as it's done, it's gone, you can't edit it. What's your favorite part of the book to read? Which part of the book makes you feel like, yeah, it's me?
Sure. Tricky. I think that my favorite part to write was the consequences and the benefits. Consequences and the benefits of good time management and bad time management. That was my favorite part because I'm like, yes, you gotta know.
Yes,
you have to know why. You have to know why you need this. You know? I think even for me, it was like a slap in the face because you get to see points like when you manage your time well, it gives you more opportunities, and it's like budgeting. You know,
yes, it is actually
like before when we got married, we never used to operate on a budget. You know, just like money comes, what do we need? We need this.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Then there's a particular month when we sat down and we did a budget, and I was like, snap, there's more money. Like, did we get more money?
Yeah.
But because now, and we budgeted like after we got paid, we used up all the money, and we were broke. And we're like, oh snap. We need to be working on the budget. Yeah. So that was the beauty is we created the budget way before money came in. So we had like 10% goes to tithes, 5% goes to this percent, that percent, this percent. So when the money came, it was just fitting into the already made category. Yes. So then you get to see, oh, we've got this extra money. I said, but and you find that you sort out everything else, and you have some extra money, and you're like, oh snap. So just the same way with time is, I think for me it does help.
Yeah, and so that's also your favorite part to read even now?
My favorite part to read is not the part that I wrote, it's the part that the guys contributed. Because I think it's just good to get to find guys that you are like-minded with, you know what I mean? So because I asked the thing that I did, and it was very unprofessional, you know. I think it was not. I didn't even tell the guys I'm writing an eBook or what. I just asked the guys like, yo, I sent a couple of friends, some didn't respond, of course. So I sent a couple of friends like, what helps you manage your time better? So they just responded via WhatsApp, and I was like, oh. Then I picked the ones I thought would fit in the book, and I was like, oh, actually, we're saying the same things, you know, like not that every time you have to say the same things, but it's just a little bit comforting to see guys and see people around saying the same thing, because you're like, oh snap, I'm going against the current now, you know. So I think that's my favorite part, to see like, oh, everybody.
And it's good to see, especially when it comes to principles about things like time that everybody has. It's more like citation, like these things work and these are the people who've used them and it's worked for them. Yeah. So it's not just you making claims. This is other people who've seen it, and it's worked. My personal favorite part was also the benefits and the consequences.
Oh, really?
Because there's a line that you said about how anxiety and stress, like how managing your time will prevent that. Yeah, that was my favorite part, because a lot of anxiety comes from being late. You know, when you're running late, you're like, oh my god. And when you reach, you're not as effective as you would have been if you hadn't planned. So that was my favorite line.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I think even that's also one of the reasons why I like writing that part, because I've had conversations with a couple of people who've explained the whole stress and anxiety, what if, and I also have my own personal what ifs, you know what I mean? But I've learned once time is managed well and it's used effectively, even when you end the day, you have some level of peace.
Yes, you're proud of yourself. Yes.
Especially if like exercise in the morning. Like once you just hit that exercise in the morning, the day just feels like, whew, you know, this is the day. You know, so I think once you go through the day hitting all the milestones, it gives you some level of peace. You know what I mean? So that's the good side. The bad side of having good time management is if you don't do what you set out to do, it stresses you more.
For me, it doesn't actually.
It doesn't.
No, if I planned my day and I did everything that I wanted to do and I committed to it, it doesn't stress me because I did my best. I've shown up. It's like going to ShopRite and you buy bread and your money only bought one loaf. It's bought one loaf. What are you going to do?
I hear you.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't stress me, because I know for sure that I showed up and everything outside of 24 hours is outside 24 hours.
Can we get 2 extra hours?
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, cool
so
stuff.
what did you edit out of the book? Is there anything you wanted to put in that you removed?
Yeah.
Really? What was that? Just give me one.
Which one? There were like a worksheet. I wanted to put in a worksheet to help people go through. Here's how the entire process. So after the exam, after the 4 points, I wanted to add in now a worksheet with examples. These are examples of categorizing. This is the way you prioritize, and this is the way. So I wanted to add that, but then it would have made. I cut it out because I was like, it's going to be too much work. Now they have to do something. Yeah. But I'm still weighing the option of should I put out the worksheet on its own, just as an add-on or something.
Yeah. Just so people know. Now I know how to manage your time. Now what? Just as
Yeah, so that's one of the things.
Cool. And what was your favorite part of the process and your least favorite part of the process?
My favorite part of the process was just the design.
And your least favorite?
Putting it out.
The actual uploading?
Yeah.
Or the promotion?
The actual promotion.
I
had the design on my machine and my phone for a month. So I think the design was done 30th of September. I had it throughout the month of October. I was saying, should I put it out? The book was even uploaded already because it's on Amazon as well. So it was on Amazon and on the website. But I was just like, do I put it out? So that entire process, the anxiety, will the people like it? Will the people even download? Maybe I should just put a price to each side. If they don't buy, I say no. If people just don't like
my
it,
stuff. Some people don't read.
But fortunately, I think they do read, they do read.
That's one of my discoveries from this show. Zambians read. Like they read. They're out there reading. If they can read stories on Zambia kitchen participation, they read.
They do read.
Zambians read.
So we just need to package the content.
Give them something to read. They'll read. Yeah. So what's on your reading list? Speaking of reading, what are you reading right now?
Just one book. It's nothing related to personal development. I put everything else on every other book on hold because of, like I mentioned earlier, work has gotten quite busy. So I'm only reading, and it's not even like actively reading. It's just I open it for a bit, read the paragraph or a chapter if I can of Understanding the Power and Purpose of Men, Miles Monroe. So it's totally away. It's away from.
That's a timeless book, though.
Yeah. Yes. I've been reading it for I don't know how long. I've been reading it for a while. So every time I read it through, I get to a particular point. I'm like, no, I gotta start over. So I haven't finished it in years. I keep starting. So like every time I start, I go a little further, then I restart again.
I can understand that because of the author. Because I think I've been reading. Is it A Purpose-Driven Life or something like that? Just from the intro, I read the intro and I'm
you go back.
Go back.
That's I think that's the effect. I like the content Miles Monroe puts out. I just think he used to put out a lot of stuff in just the intro, like you're saying.
That's the intro. Just the intro, you got 3 action points, 3 repentance points.
So that's the one I'm currently reading.
I'm currently struggling through The Old Drift by Namwali Serpo. It's a Zambian book. It's fiction. It's very thick, but that's not the reason I'm struggling. I'm struggling because it's very like indulgent. She wrote it for herself, so you can feel that she put in all the things that she wants to put in, the way she wants to put in them. So it's like eating a whole chocolate bar in one sitting. So I take small bites. Yes.
That sounds like my wife's type of book.
Yes,
I have challenges reading very thick books.
Yeah.
I have. I'm very new actually
to the reading world.
To the
Welcome.
reading world. It's actually even funny that I even had to watch this to publish. I was like, oh snap, what am I doing? I haven't read all the books
in the world. Yeah.
Like for you to put out something, you must have read everything,
Not really.
But, yeah. So yes.
Okay. You like it here? It's good here.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
Thank
we have
you.
aircon.
No, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So it was very nice to have you on the show, Ormild.
Yeah, thanks.
It was a great
I've had
chat
a
on this
good
book.
time.
Yeah. So what else can we look forward to for Millennial perspective and for you and for this project?
Ish, Mukandi.
Aside from the red book, because me, I've already put it on my list as something to look forward to.
Yeah. There's a couple of things I'm still working on. I don't know if I put them out, it's gonna be pressure. It's gonna be pressure on myself.
Okay, where can we check? At least tell us where we can check.
So you can check on Facebook. You can check for Millennial Perspective. You can also check on my personal page, Ormild Musonda.
Okay.
So yeah, I think maybe for now the only thing I would say would be next is I've already started getting a couple of requests to say, how do you set clear goals? How do you what? So there's definitely going to be follow-up ebooks to talk about the points in the how to manage your time better. So maybe expanding them just a little bit.
Just enough.
Yeah, just enough.
Yeah,
but I definitely want them to be as short as this one, and then maybe put out video editions of this. Yeah, because there's a community that reads and there's a community that watches
and listens.
So probably maybe do videos and audios of it.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah. As long as people can check. As long as they can check www.millennialperspectives.net. Yeah. As long as they can check there, they'll catch up. They'll even catch up with all the other stuff that you've worked on.
Yeah.
And even see what you will be working on.
Yeah, definitely. So like even with Millennial Perspective, we're trying to bring on a couple of other guys who can put out, who've got content, who really want to put out content. So we have a couple of people who will be putting out content. So and the platform is basically maybe I didn't even get to talk about Millennial Perspective. So the platform is about creating a community of solution providers. So what we want is, even the book, you see, it's trying to sort out a problem. So even the content that we put out is just trying to give people a platform to amplify the voices of people who've got solutions, and predominantly people we don't know about. So it's trying to bring in like young emerging voices people haven't heard, minds that we haven't tapped into yet. So that's what the Millennial Perspective is pretty much about. Yeah. So
showing a new perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.